What is up, YouTube? Hey, this is just going to be pretty much an edit on one of my video updates for the Stingray, but really quick, I just wanted to show what I am doing. So, yesterday I got a comment from Dirk Pitt about a cautionary tale about using yellows on dark bases, but I'm gonna say usually you're absolutely right. You are absolutely right about never going dark to light on a painted surface, especially with yellows, because most of the time the pigments are, you know, the pigments in yellows and reds are really hard to carry through in any kind of emulsion, and that makes it kind of difficult to cover over certain surfaces, you know, darker surfaces. So the key is for this, the key is, I guess, really the type of paint that you use. And Vallejo's, this brand of paint, I've noticed that I'm not sure what their process is, but the pigments are so finely ground in these that you can, I mean, they will carry, they will cover, they will, these are good paints. Also very expensive paint. $3, well, locally here this is about $3.50, I think, for a bottle of, let me see if I have it, 17 milliliters. Is that, well, I don't know, you know, I mean, the only people in America who know the metric system are druggies, so I guess I don't know what that is in ounces or whatever, but, this is another brand of paint that you can get over at Michael's, Hobby Lobby. I believe I go to, yeah, this is from Michael's. I prefer Michael's to Hobby Lobby. But 2 ounces for 69 cents. Can't beat that, right? So anyway, back to this. So just depending on the brand of paint that you use, you can coat with some yellow bases, but as you can see right here, this is the key to what I'm doing. I'm just laying down the paint here, and you can see, like, all along this edge right here, I still have to go back in and clean all of, come on, focus. Come on, camera. Alright. So anyway, I mean, focus or not, you could see, there it goes. You could see my line kind of coming around. It's a little jagged, so I'm not going to worry about that right now. What I am doing is I'm just kind of getting it on there, and I'm going to let it set up as I am right now. I'm going to come back again once the paint is dry, and I'm going to come back over with a second coat. Now the brushes that I'm using, this is obviously not the brush that I'm using for this paint right here, for this area, but these are kind of I think these are red sables. These, well, you know, these feel like red sables. If they're synthetic, then they're really good. But I try to stick to red sable brushes simply because they're so soft. Oh, they're so soft. Anyway, but you also, I mean, most of all of these right here, I mean, you're gonna see some brush strokes. Like, you're going to see a lip of a brush stroke right there. That's actually from before when I was painting this. But regardless, with these, I mean, you can get a pretty seamless, flawless finish that doesn't have any lip marks. You just got to watch. You got to watch for any kind of debris in your paint, though, because, I mean, that's where these came from right there. So, this isn't perfect, but I'm going to come back again, and I'm going to shape this area out one more time, and once I get that lined out one more time, that's also going to be the second coat, and it's going to be a much heavier, much solid yellow. And I'm going to come up here and start shaping the front pretty soon. I'm going to have to take a break because I'll be honest, I mean, as you can see, I'm not using any masking, but man, it takes patience, and you can't have any disruption. So therefore, you know, Marcus is out at my mom's this morning, so that's why it's nice and quiet in here. There's no Yo Gabba Gabba, there's no Daniel Tiger. But again, the key to working with a brush, the key to working with these kinds of paints, is to keep it. You want to keep your paint as loose as possible, and you know, like with Vallejos, I just stick to water. So I'll just dip the brush in water first, and take some paint away from my you know, my dollop that I squeeze out, and just start pulling it away onto my what do you call it, my sheet of paper, I guess. So with a wet brush, I just start pulling away from the dollop of paint that I pour out of the tube, and just start getting the brush just soaked with paint. You know, I'll even spin it around just so that the whole brush is just full of paint. And the key is not to have it like globbed with paint, but you want your brush to have its original shape, but loaded with as much paint as possible. And then you're basically gonna find your edge. Let me see if I could do it. You're gonna just lay, if you can, like this area right here is gonna have. I actually have to flare. Let me see. Like I'm gonna have to flare out, and then just follow this line all the way in. And you want to keep. You don't want to use your brush like this. You want to use your brush more at a 45-degree angle, so that when you start, you're using this outside edge. You know, you're going to use this outside edge as well, you're just going to use it to establish your line over here as you start to flare out. See, so the key is to keep your paint really, really loose, not overly diluted, so that you don't get a solid coverage, but you just want to at least get enough pigment down on that edge over here, so that when you come back again, you don't have to dig into that line over and over and over again. You can actually start easing into over here and feathering, and you got to keep feathering your paint out just to keep it nice and flat. No paint strokes, no paint streaks whatsoever. So usually what I do is I kind of start off right here. I establish my edge on this side also, but to be mindful of that outside edge to set up my line and start building the curve, and then start following the inside of this blue line all the way down to the nose. Don't worry about getting it all the way done in one stroke. It's not going to happen. But a little bit of practice. I mean, this goes back to me being an artist back in the 90s, and this lady who taught me everything, she was so mean. I mean, it wasn't like she threw hot soup at me every time I messed up, but she really got me to work with a brush over and over and over again. If it was if there's ever any kind of modern day context to a Jedi Knight, I was her Padawan, and she taught me how to use a brush as a sword. Can't cut I can't cut anybody down, but I can pretty much paint anything with a broomstick, you know. But it just depends on your hand and your movements, and it's not a talent by any means. It's a skill that you have to learn. Something that you have to do over and over and over and over again. But once you have it, you have it. If you don't use it a lot, then it's kind of like riding a bike. You can still do it, but you can't pop any wheelies. You can't jump off any ramps over buses or anything until you practice. So anyway, guys, I will catch up to you later. I think I've rambled on long enough. But next update, we'll have a little bit more of this yellow painted in, and hopefully done pretty soon. So talk to you later. Have fun. Peace out.